Hey y'all, Backwoods Modeler here. Welcome back to my workshop. If you hear the guy in the background with the blower, my neighbors didn't get the memo today that I was doing a video, so you got to overlook them. We'll just talk over them. Anyway, if you saw my last video, you saw that I was working on straightening out these two Dodges. I got this one back here. It's already still drying actually. And then I started working on this black one. And I decided I wanted to build something that I haven't seen yet. I have not seen any of these Dodges lifted. As you can see, maybe you can't, I got the bed situation straightened out on this truck. I got it fixed. Now the bed and the cab all line up together nice and even and flat. It took that I actually had to cut this whole friggin' tab. Where'd it go? Cut this tab off the back of the truck. As you can see, I ground on it and filed on it, and it just still wasn't working. So I ended up having to cut that entire tab, off the back of the cab. Once I did that, everything lined up perfectly. So you don't see any of these lifted. Why? I don't know either. So I do know that they do make stuff that you can buy on internet, 3D printed things that you can use to lift these trucks. My personal honest opinion, that stuff's crap. And it's not because of the guys who print it, sell it, and make it. It's just that 3D printed stuff is very, very fragile. And I don't like using it if I don't have to. There are some things that I don't mind using, like solid toolboxes. Those kind of hard to screw that up. You can't break that. But mirrors are so daggone fragile. They break when you try to paint them. They break when you try to put them on, and they're not cheap. So I don't like using them if I don't have to. So I do not have anything to lift this. I know there's different options, but we're going to try something different. We're going to totally get rid of this chassis, and we're going to go something totally different. Now, I have this Dodge chassis, or Dodge truck, a D100, I believe, D200, right? I can't make it out. Anyway, Dodge truck, and it's short bed, single cab, but it's lifted. And I was looking at my Chevy ones. And as if you look at these side by side, underneath, I have only seen one difference. I won't make you guys wait and try to figure it out. But on this one, it has a flat bottom continuously. And on the Chevy one, it has a sunk-in floorboard, as you can see there. Why they did that, I have no idea. But that's what they did on this truck. So that is the only difference on these. I don't know if that's because, I thought it's because maybe that was off of a Blazer, but it says it's a GMC truck, so I'm not exactly sure. I don't know what this came off of. It's been in the box for who knows how long. I've had dozens of these, and I buy them for tires, and I strip them, and if it was a truck, I probably took the cab off of it and used it for something, or maybe I stole the bed off of it. It's hard to tell. But anyway, I don't see any other difference in these, so anybody says, oh, you shouldn't use the Chevy under the Dodge, there's no difference, except for in this little floor right here. So anyway, I'm not going to tear this apart just yet. I already have these torn off. That's why. Sorry, my watch keeps coming apart. So we're going to start using this. I already cut the front two tabs off, as you can see on this one, how it's got the tabs on there. I already cut those off. So I plan to use this for the front. The only issue now is I need to narrow this because it's too wide to go under this cab. And we need it to go under the cab. Otherwise, it's going to be way too lifted. So, this is the plan. We're going to try to make this fit under here. It's going to probably take a lot of hacking, a lot of cutting. But I'm determined to make this work and make it look good. And then after I do this and get this lifted up, my plan is to use some of my new wheels and tires that I got here. What do y'all think of that? You think that'll look good? I hope it does, because I'm going to put a lot of work into this. So that's what we're going to do here. So there's a lot of hacking and cutting. I don't want to sit here and bore you and watch me. I got to narrow this down and then cut it to make it fit. So there's a little bit of hacking. So after I get all that stuff cut and ready to go, I'll show you what I did. All right. Bear with me a minute here, y'all. I'm trying some different angles here, trying to make things a little better. If I'm doing that, good. If I'm not, let me know in the comments. Say, hey dummy, go back the other way. So we're almost to where we need to be. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing or not. I've got tires galore here I'm trying to find. All right, so what I'm trying to do here now is set this wheel and tire so that they're centered, and then I can decide where exactly to cut this front piece or this back piece to make a match. I also still need to sand down the sides to make it fit inside like the front does, but I'm just showing you what I've got left to do here. We're getting real close. I've just got to make a couple more preliminary cuts here, and this thing will be ready to start putting back together. So again, as you can see how I got the front cut, I got it filed down so that it fits inside of the cab, and now that makes the wheel and tire look a little bit better. Maybe, I don't know if you can see, because I can't see. I think that's going to look pretty good. I may lift it a little bit more to make it a little higher, but I don't know yet. We're going to see after we get the back cut and we start putting it all together. We're going to decide there whether or not we want to go higher. So let me get that cut and I'll be back with you in a minute. All right, y'all, I got everything cut, got everything set the way we want it, and now it's time to glue it together. Looks like it's been in a, like it jumped it or something on it. So got all this cut, set. Now it's just a matter of gluing it all together, and I'd be lying if I told you that this is the easy part, because this is where it gets tricky. You're trying to glue 4 different pieces together. As you can see, the back a little higher than the front, so as I glue this together, I'm also going to have to jack the front up a little bit to make it match the back. So anyway, you got 4 different pieces here you're trying to glue together, and you don't have anything to keep you flat and level like you would if you were gluing something like this together. So the way I normally do this is I will glue the back half together, then I'll glue the front half together, and then I'll glue them together after that. This way you're only gluing 2 pieces together at one time, and it makes things go a lot easier and smoother. Does that make sense? So, but trying to get this all lined up and perfect is not easy. So before you do any gluing in anything, we're going to have to add shims to this. I already know that. I got to put shims in here between the bed and the chassis. So I got to, or between, yeah, the frame, the chassis, whatever you want to call it. I got to put shims in there. Once that's lined up and square, we can glue all that together. And before I do that, I got to make sure that all the shims are in here. I got to shim the front of this one because this just rocks too much. And I'm probably, now that I got to jack this up to make the back fit, I'll probably put a couple pieces of polystyrene in here to jack this up a little bit also. So you got to make sure that all that is set and everything is exactly the way you want it before you put a drop of glue on this thing, guys, because if you don't, you're going to screw up. So that's the best thing I can tell you. I'm going to glue this thing together, and then I will get back to you after it's all done. All right, y'all, it's been a couple hours now waiting on this thing to dry. As you can see, I got it stood up over there so it'll stay straight. She's coming along pretty good. We can play with it, but she's still nowhere near dry. She's all glued together. Got it all in one piece now. Still a lot of painting and gluing to do to the bottom. We still need to get the running gear and everything set up. We're going to leave the front alone, and then when we get back here to the back of the transmission, behind the U-joint there, we'll hack it there, and then we'll cut it at the U-joint at the rear end, and then we'll just replace that piece however long it ends up being. Still deciding on mirrors. This thing already, she's got a good roll to her, but we don't want to keep playing with it. Want to keep it stood up there. It needs to dry, but every now and again, like I said, you need to take it down, need to check it and make sure that everything is staying exactly the way it should be. Don't make plans when you're if you're going to do this project, because you need to babysit it. Sit here and watch it for a long time. Apologize about the noise a couple clips ago, but I had the air and the fan on, but man, it's hot, so I'm sweating my butt off just filming this part. So anyway, get back to what I'm doing here. I got this front push bar that came off of one of my Yellowstone dualies. I don't know that we'll use it, but I got it out just to put it on there and see if we like it or not. I got a diesel exhaust tip painted, ready to go. I just need to let the chassis dry so I can finish that. And then the mirrors, I got another Dodge here that is missing the driver's side mirror, but the mirror doesn't quite match the other one. It's not the paint. The mirror on the black Bandit version is a little bit, tiny bit taller, so I may end up just stealing the mirrors off of this parts truck, since they already match. Steal them both, paint the top black, put them on there and call it a day. So that's all we're doing, guys. We're waiting for this to dry, and then we'll get back at her. So I'll be back as soon as it dries. All right, y'all, we're back. For the most part, she's done. She's still drying. It's still not 100% finished, but it's really, really close. What do we got left to do here? I need to give me one of my turntables. Got the mirrors on. They match now, and I need to paint the top of those black to make those black out match. What else have we done? I got to watch how I touch this thing because it is literally still drying. Got the exhaust in. I need to straighten that up a little bit. I can see it's trying to go crooked on me as it's drying, so I'll straighten that up. Touch that paint up, and it'll be good. I need to paint the drive shaft. You can see I got that in. That was a chore, but we made that work. So I got the diesel exhaust tip on there. I got to paint the inside of that black still. I think that looks pretty good. Stance turned out really well, I think. She's jacked up a little bit in the back. That's the way we like it. We don't like squatted trucks around here, so we wanted to do that. Like I said, just a very little bit of touch-up paint. I decided against this push bar. I just don't like it. I'm not a big fan of that mesh crap in the middle there, so I probably will never use this thing unless I cut the middle of it out, and then I don't know. You may destroy it trying to cut that out, so I don't know. So I'm not using that. So we got her all jacked up. Let's see. Bottom is all painted up. There's a little bit of booger in there in the center where they went together, but that's just the way some projects turn out, guys. This was a tough build to make, but we got her done. Everything looks good. She rolls good. We're set. Hope y'all like this truck build. If you do, think about liking, subscribing. Check me out on Instagram. Check me out on eBay. All that information's in the description below. Most important, don't forget to come back, y'all. Have a good day. Bye now.